And welcome back to Idaho Today. It is Wednesday, which means a new issue of Boise Weekly will be coming out tomorrow. And this week is jam-packed with so many events and topics. We need help navigating all of it. So we got Jeanne Huff from the Boise Weekly joining us. Jeanne, it's always good to see you, my friend.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so Jeanne, tell us about George Prentice and his talk about Carmen.
Well, the new Carmen is going to be at the Flicks. And so George was at the Toronto Film Festival, and he was in the audience of the very first audience that got to see this new Carmen.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
He said it gave him goosebumps. It's a new interpretation of it. It's a new film. It's set in Mexico, and the director is Benjamin Millepied, and he actually choreographed some scenes for the new Dune saga, and he also worked on Black Swan, and that's where he met Natalie Portman, who is now his.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. I love the little inside bit right there. Okay, a little Hollywood gossip right there. Okay,
That's
lovely.
Cool.
All right, and then in addition to that though too, in the Boise Weekly that's coming out, there's going to be a celebration, if you will, of some authors, and it's a part of an event at the Old Pen. Tell us about that.
So it's actually a conversation between two celebrated authors. One is Nena Kwame Aja Brenya. I may have not pronounced that correctly, but I looked it up, so I hope it's close. And he is a New York Times bestselling author of the book Friday Black. And he has been dubbed one of the most exciting young writers in America. It's very exciting that he's going to be here. And he's going to be in conversation with our local celebrated author, or one of them, Alan Heathcock. And Alan Heathcock has written the collection Volt, and then also the new novel 40. And so it's going to be really interesting. They're going to have this conversation at the Shirt Factory at the Old Pen.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And we just saw some really great photographs as well of those authors, which are pretty inspiring in themselves. And then tell us, too, about the Boise Weekly Awards. There's some grants that you are going to be kind of awarding, if you will.
Yes, and this is like my favorite thing in the whole world to do. So every year in the fall, in October, we hold the Boise Weekly cover art auction, and 30% of the proceeds go back to the artists who have donated their art, which is really wonderful. And then we take the rest of that money and we hold it for giving out our cover auction grants. And we do that in the spring, which is what we're doing this week. And it was so fun, Melissa, to call these people. There are three that and let them know that they were the recipients. So one of them just tugs at my heart, and her name is Sherry Smith, and she started something called Oliver's Gift, and it's in honor of her son in heaven, who he was a monastic monk, and he spent his whole life giving to others. And so she makes up care packages for people in our community. And she was so happy. It just brought tears to my eyes. Oh. And Mary Gardner, who is a plein air artist, among others, mediums, but she wanted to, her project is to take plein air artists, find it on Facebook or something like that. And she's going to have different places for them to go and create art out in our Treasure Valley and in Idaho. And so she's hoping that they can show those pieces at our next cover art auction.
Oh, exciting. That is
and
super.
Then our third recipient is Hollis Welsh, and she is making a film. She's a young woman filmmaker, and she's making a film called Things Are Okay Here. And so she wanted to get the money to help finance her film.
That's wonderful. That is so exciting, Jeanne. And we could see your joy, because I love how you said you love having the honor and the privilege of contacting these people and hearing their excitement. I actually could hear you get a little choked up on one of them when you were talking about it, because it's joyful when you get to spread joy, right? And then you get to celebrate other people's joy as well. So I love that. I think that's fantastic. All right, yeah. So Jeanne, where can people pick up the Boise Weekly? Because this is just the tip of the iceberg, if you will, of all the amazing content that they get to experience.
Yes, and we have a really big one this week. It's always inside the Idaho Press now, and so every Thursday. So that's where you can find us. And once a month, we're on the newsstands. The last Thursday of the month, but this Thursday we're going to be inside the Idaho Press.
Wonderful. Jeanne, thank you so much, my friend. And you take care, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right. Bye, Melissa.
Bye. Take care. Everyone stick around, because guess what? We'll be meeting KTVB's newest meteorologist, Rachel Garceau, right after the break.